a $400 poker tournament with hundreds of thousands of dollars up top. Today, I was gonna compete for it all. But first, I need a little caffeine. Okay, so our order is placed, so now the goal is to just relax as we do have time to register still. But I really don't want to sit down flustered. I really want to play my best game today and bag a lot of chips. This would be a great one to run deep in. There's going to be a ton of money in this prize pool, so my goal while I wait is to relax. Okay, we got the good stuff. We're going to go register now. Let's go. I think this wait probably just saved me from a cooler, and we're going to double up the first hand. That's the prediction. Hopefully I'm right. Let's go. Feeling definitely more awake, I made my way up to the poker room and ran into a new friend.
Hola.
God.
Isn't she cute?
Why is she looking at me like that? I'm a poker player that travels for a living, so admittedly, yeah, it gets a little bit lonely. And one of the things that I miss the most is my dog. There's something so comforting about spending time with an animal that doesn't want to stack you, right? I mean, most of my time I spend with all the aquatic animals like fish, sharks. Okay, corny joke. But this dog was adorable and definitely made my day before I was about to hop into the tournament. Okay, we're hopping in the 1,000, 2,000 level, which means we have 50 big blinds to start, which is more than we've ever registered so far. I'm really just trying to find all the ways to say I hope we run good, but 50 bigs, let's spin. Normally, I register at the last possible second, but today I was trying something new and hopping in early. I wanted to register when the big blinds were a lot lower, and the reason why I was doing that is because I wanted to play some poker today. Funny enough though, I actually thought I was gonna be all in the first hand anyway, because in my first hand that I play, I look down at pocket twos under the gun 1 and raise to 4,000 before the cutoff, small blind, and big blind all make the call. No respect. We go 4 ways to the flop of 7-7-8 rainbow. Small blind checks, big blind checks, and this is probably just a check from me in hindsight, but I actually bet 4,500 here. I mean, I kind of get it because I do have 2 pair and my hand needs a lot of protection from overcards. But when I get called, there's really just no good turn card for me, except maybe the one that comes. The cutoff folds before the small blind and big blind make the call, and we go 3 ways now to a turn of a 2. Unless I'm up against 7-8 specifically, that's about as good of a turn card as we're gonna get. So when it checks to me, I bet about 2/3 pot this time, setting up a river jam, but both players fold. Guess no one had a 7, but I'll take it anyway. We're off to a pretty good start, and this next hand is no different because we have a chance to win a ton of chips, if we can find the call. The blinds are 1K, 2K, and a very active cutoff raises before I 3-bet to 13,000 from the button. Oh yeah, did I mention? I have one of my favorite hands, pocket 9s. Always fun to play, but probably not multi-way, so I'm pretty happy to see the small blind fold, the big blind fold, and only the cutoff make the call. However, the flop is horrendous. There's no other way to put it. It's ace king 8 with 2 hearts. Even though I only have 3rd pair, it is a 3-bet pot and I was the pre-flop aggressor. So when the cutoff checks to me, I actually continue betting here for 7,000 and the cutoff goes into the tank before making the call. Interesting. Was he thinking about a raise? The turn's the 7 of clubs, and at this point, when the cutoff checks, I don't know that I can continue betting here. I check back with what's really now just a bluff catcher. And if it wasn't bad enough before, it's god-awful atrocious now. The river is a 2 of hearts. Could this run out get any worse? I mean, probably not unless there was a 6 card, but the action gets a lot worse because now the cutoff literally leads for 32,000. Can't even pretend like this is remotely a call on my behalf, but I check for hearts anyway to see if there's any way I can rationalize this before letting it go and saying, super pro. Oh, shit. 5s? Really? He windmilled that shit too. I was like, damn. But in all seriousness, that hand took kind of a big chunk out of my stack. However, because I hopped in really early, it actually still left me with like 40 big blinds. That's definitely playable. And that's also definitely bluffable. In this next hand, it folds around to the small blind who limps. I look down at queen 9 offsuit and choose to check it back this time. Before the flop comes ace king 4 rainbow. Small blind checks, and I have queen high here, which is actually probably good a high percentage of the time, especially given the limp check line. So I think in hindsight I would have preferred a bet, but In game, I just check. The turn is where things get a little spicy though. It's the 10 of hearts giving me a little gutter and potentially even some opportunity to rep hearts in the future. So when the small blind bets 5,000, I call in position. No need to bloat this pot quite yet. Then the river comes a good bad card. Let me explain. It's the deuce of hearts, which means I still have queen high, but I also definitely have a lot of heart combos here. So when the small blind bets 10,000, I choose to rep it. I make it 25,000 and the small blind calls.
Two pair.
A snap? Oh no, that's not good. I was bluffing like a muffin. Damn.
Ouch. That one hurt my stack a little more. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't mind going for it, but a rivered two pair, really? One thing that's important to note about having 20 big blinds though, is that even though you're relatively short stacked all things considered, as I've learned recently from my studying, there's still so much poker left to be played. So that's what I do. I end up raising a hand where it doesn't matter. It was a small pot, but I end up losing a few big blinds to an enthusiastic player named Mike.
Shout out to Mike for taking my chips. Gonna try to get him back.
Shout out to Steve the dealer for taking your chips.
Shout out to Steve the dealer.
that took your chips to give to him.
Shout out to the dealer for helping me get him back.
This is why I love playing at the Borgata though. It really does feel like a little family. It's definitely home game vibes here, you know what I mean? I met Mike an hour ago and we're already yakking it up. Although, in all seriousness, I needed to win some chips, which hopefully explains this next hand where I have pocket nines. The cutoff raises to 6,000 before I go all in from the small blind for 66,000. Big blind folds and the cutoff snap calls. Like literally, she could not have called quicker.
Okay, hopefully, okay, I'll take that. Oh no. Oh.
Damn.
Nice hand.
It seems like the less outs you have at this table, the better you're gonna be. I'll have to remember that for later. Anyway, this next hand caught me off guard. An early position player limps before the cutoff makes it 6,000 to go. Small blind calls, and I look down at king deuce of hearts in the big blind before also making the call. Half preparing the early position player to do some crazy limp spaz ISO raise. I don't even know if that sentence even made sense, but he doesn't, which means he's capital C capped. Something I very much like to see, especially when the flop comes 4-7-8 with two hearts. Small blind checks, I check, early position checks, before the cutoff bets 8,000 here. So small. So when the small blind calls, I'm definitely not going anywhere, but the early position player just folds. Not sure what that says about his... Never mind. For what it's worth, on this exact flop, I actually was gonna check raise only the cutoff, but I'm a little bit scared about the small blind call, because that can still be a lot of strong hands. So I just choose to call this time, and the turn comes the 5 of spades. Yeah, remember what I said about the small blind? This is all him. So when he checks, I am spooked. But the cutoff bets 8,000 again, and the small blind only calls, so even if one of them actually has a straight here, I'm just getting way too good of a price. I call, and I'm rewarded because the river is the queen of hearts. I'll take a flush any day of the week, but especially the king high flush. Small blind checks to me, and I'm not checking anymore. The cutoff can just check too many hands back, and I don't want that to happen. So I bet 25,000 now, and the cutoff does call before the small blind folds. Feels good to see that call. Scooping this pot feels better.
Yeah, two pair.
Yeah, I got top shot on it.
Oh yeah, top set.
Queens? I don't know, but at this point, I have piles. I have 212,000 chips, which is good for about 70 big blinds. Although it is kind of funny because even though I'll never complain about having 2x starting, just because of what starting stack was, in other tournaments I've played, 200,000 has been way more. But more chips means bigger pots, so let's try to spin.
Every time someone comes over here, I think they busted. Apparently kids got heaps. 450K you have?
450K. How much do you have?
Not 450K, what the f? Oh yeah, thank you so much. So countable.
My friends always scare me. This is ridiculous. As long as they're not at my table, I genuinely wish my friends the best. But they're all flighty as shit. Branson does the same thing. He's always walking around mid-tournament. Scares the hell out of me every time. In the next hand we play, we have everybody's favorite hand, Ace King offsuit. Low jack raises to 7K and the hijack calls before it folds around to me in the small blind and I make it 30K to go. Little small Abby, bump that shit up next time. Anyway, big blind folds, low jack folds, and hijack folds too. A rare occurrence when you have Ace King. I feel like it's always the initial caller that ends up getting you for piles.
Become a real game.
Blinds go up, pots get bigger.
I mean, I'm not wrong, but I'm still happy to take things down pre-flop. Unfortunately though, I don't even come close in this next hand. I have Ace King offsuit again. Under the gun opens. I 3-bet. He 4-bets. I 5-bet jam. He snap calls. And we chop it up. That's more like it with Ace King. Absolutely classic. Anyway, at this point, Slow Poker comes over to check on me and give me what he's calling advice.
What's up, kid? You got chips?
You got chips?
I got more than starting. For the first time in probably this entire series, I've had more than starting. So we take that. The problem is that rebuys are still open.
So you'll bust it out.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like this is a freeze out, and then that won't happen.
Honestly, it might be a freeze out for me. The cash games were so good yesterday.
After that, at this exact moment, my table dynamic changes a lot. A super good player who I'm very familiar with sits down and completely changes everything.
All right, we got a resident super pro sitting down. Ruh-roh. And by super pro, I mean super punter.
That's damn right. I just busted the mystery, so I'm on tilt.
Oh,
I'm about to blast.
That is good news for us. Good luck though, for real.
Thank you, you too.
But not quite yet. The blinds are 2K, 4K, and I raise early position to 8K with Ace 5 suited. Small blind calls, big blind calls, we get a dream flop. It's Ace 9 deuce with 2 spades. The problem with getting dream flops is that generally when you smash it as hard as I did, you don't get a lot of action. They check to me, and I basically just breathe on this pot before very quickly both of them have folded.
Get out of my pot.
What? That board was all me. But unlike the last hand where I was in position, in this next hand, I'm gonna be playing it out of position. The hijack raises to 14K, and it folds around to me in the big blind when I look down at Ace Queen offsuit.
Don't be so sure. My big blinds. I'm sticky.
I'm all in for just over 20 big blinds, and he beats me into the pot.
Oh, good luck, my friend. Big ol' flip.
That's the one you bubbled?
Guess I gotta be offsuit. Oh, I'm dead. GG's.
That's probably not good. Okay, so I'm not dead, but I'm really short. In fact, I have 10 big blinds left. Not great, but this is why I always have hope. Because 2 hands later, I have Ace King suited. And what's even better is that the cutoff is raised to 15K, so it makes my decision really easy. I go all in for 65K, expecting to get action from the cutoff, but then the big blind jams and he has me covered. I mean, to be fair, so did the cutoff, but I was expecting to get action from the cutoff. I wasn't expecting the big blind to wake up with a hand, so I'm absolutely terrified. But then I'm immediately relieved because he also has Ace King suited. Man, I hate Ace King.
Fair enough.
Wrong color.
How do we both hit trips there? What the heck?
I'm looking for ways to double up and get more chips, but I just can't find any. And when I am picking up good hands, I'm either not getting action or chopping the pot. What the heck? I mean, at this point, I'm so annoyed I even say.
All right, let's go again.
But the only good thing about not getting any action is I've actually worked my way back up to 16 big blinds this time. Well, that is until this next hand happens, which, remember that player I told you about from earlier? The resident super pro?
All right, we got a resident super pro sitting down. And by super pro, I mean super punter.
Well, he's the main villain in this hand, and I make an absolute soul read. I have Ace Jack offsuit under the gun. Because I'm about to enter the blinds, I feel like there's only one thing to do here. I'm all in. and it folds around to the Super Pro. But when it does, he doesn't call, he doesn't go all in, he tanks for a few minutes actually. And while he's doing that, I start to think to myself, what could this guy have? Is it a hand I want action from, a hand I don't want action from? And I come to one conclusion. He has the same fucking hand as me.
I think we have the same hand. Ah, that's so funny. I was like, no way he's tanking with like ace queen for sure. Good luck, good luck.
Tap it up. River shot.
Oh no!
Tap it up.
Oh no!
Zoom up.
GG's. I just got out my snacks too. What the heck?
You are kidding me. Nope, you're not kidding. I'm out of the tournament. I just... Holy shit, I can't believe that. I called his exact hand and still lost. Runner flush. Oh, this series has not been kind to me yet, but we're gonna turn it around tomorrow.
Okay, so naturally, you know, when you take a bad beat, you gotta bitch about it to some friends. I come over here, I'm telling Alyssa about the bad beat. She pulls up my fucking co-star to tell me my fortune. What's it today?
Abby gets closure by recapping the situation casually until it feels normal.
I think she's lying, and then she's not lying. This is the most sick and twisted thing I've ever seen in my life. God bless. Honestly, it kind of makes me feel better though. So you guys want to hear the bad beat one more time until it feels normal? So I think the strat surely just has to be to read my co-star in advance next time. Next time.